India has revised its guidelines with regard to preservation of election-related footage after the results are declared. The poll panel has decided to reduce the retention period of election CCTV footage to 45 days if the verdict is not challenged in courts within that period. Now, this decision was communicated to the state chief election officers through a letter dated May 30, in which the Election Commission said that photographs, videos and CCTV footage of the election process can actually be destroyed after 45 days. The poll panel cited misuse of such data for spreading malicious narratives as the reason behind the new guidelines. Leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, who has repeatedly questioned the poll process and cast aspersions on the integrity of Election Commission, once again rained fire on the poll panel. He accused the Election Commission of deleting evidence, alleging once again that the match is clearly fixed. In his post on social media platform X, Rahul Gandhi wrote that fixed election is a poison for democracy. While Rahul upped the ante against the Election Commission, his ally, Jain Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, showed mirror to the Congress party. Omar Abdullah took a sharp swipe at the Congress, saying that excuses should not be made when someone does not succeed in elections. BJP cited Omar's remark to say that Congress's fake charges have been fact-checked by its own ally. Training aim at Rahul Gandhi, BJP called his recent onslaught against the Election Commission a sign that Congress is preparing excuses ahead of Bihar elections. BJP also highlighted what they termed Congress's hypocrisy, asking why doesn't the Congress party have a problem when they win elections? For example, the way they won elections in Telangana, Karnataka and a couple of other states as well. Listen in to who said what.
Every other day they are trying to come up with new rules and regulation just to hoodwink the people of this country. The real question is, how did 55 lakh voters, or more than that, appear in just 1 week or just between a few days before the election on the electoral list? They have to explain it to the people of the country.
Omar Abdullah has given his ally, India Alliance partner Rahul Gandhi, a life-size big fact check and a reality check. Omar Abdullah says that when you win the election, you don't complain, and when you lose the election, you start blaming the Election Commission. That is plain hypocrisy.
लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था का दिन दहाड़े खून करने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार बीजेपी और चुनाव आयोग कर रहा है, ये स्पष्ट होता है.
Congress better do not preach, because you can preach only what you have practiced. You have never practiced this. The thing which goes according to law, it doesn't digest. You cannot digest that fact.
And joining us on this debate this evening are my guests. We have Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, Tushar Gupta, who is a political analyst, O.P. Rawat, former CEC of India, Advocate Nikhil Jain, who is a political analyst, Ahmed Ayaz, who is a political analyst as well, and Dr. Akashdeep Muni, a political analyst too. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the NewsHour Special Edition this Saturday evening. Mr. O.P. Rawat, I want to begin this discussion with you because you understand how Election Commission really functions, and we are seeing a lot of politics happening around the recent decision by the Election Commission of India. So I want to ask you firstly, for the benefit of our viewers, if you can help us understand, as far as this demand of Rahul Gandhi specifically of the Congress party is concerned, now with the poll panel, with the Election Commission now deciding that after 45 days, the data, CCTV footage, videos, etc., should be deleted if they are not challenged by any political party or any individual. What do you make of this particular decision? Rahul Gandhi says now in 1 year, EC will destroy, earlier it was 1 year, now EC will destroy the data in 45 days only. The one from whom the answer is needed is destroying the evidence. He even says it is clear the match is fixed and a fixed election is a poison for democracy. What will you like to say, sir?
I won't like to comment on the political aspect of the issue. The thing is that in the election laws, the only remedy after election results are announced lies in election petition. And Election Commission's latest guidelines respect that. that if election petition is filed, then the record, footage, etc., everything will be kept till the disposal of the election petition or 5 years, whichever is earlier. Without election petition, whatever you see in the CCTV footage or any record or anywhere, it's not going to alter the result. It's not going to affect anything. And therefore, there was unnecessary cost, time, energy, wastage for carrying so much of inventory all over the country for that long. And therefore, whatever EC has done, I feel it is okay.
Okay. Interesting, because you've told us the way how things are. And like you said that there is an election petition that can be filed. That is the biggest remedy that is available. And since no election can be challenged beyond 45 days of the declaration of this result, and hence retaining this footage, which costs a lot of time, effort, money, etc., etc., there is no need to do that. No point in even doing that. Now I want to go across to Advocate Nikhil Jain. You heard the expert here, Mr. O.P. Rawat. He has been the Chief Election Commissioner of India. You understood from him, what the real scenario is, the rationale behind this kind of a decision. So don't you think the politics that's happening around it is unnecessary?
Absolutely not, Heena. What Mr. Rawat has said, he's very categorically not commented on the political aspect of it. He's just said about the fact that holding and securing the footage for a long enough time was cumbersome administratively. But the entire election process is cumbersome. If I am to come around and say that why should we go and collect the vote of every individual from their house, even when they can't come, why should it all happen? Why should there be a CCTV footage in the first place? So I'll not get into the argument of whether it is administratively complex or cumbersome. If election commissions across subsequent governments, across subsequent elections have been doing it for a long time, they should continue to do so, especially in wake of the fact that now we have greater technology. Technology is cheaper, hard drive storage is cheaper, and all of that. Now, I'll target on a more important point. First of all, the timing of it. Why does the election commission suddenly decide to reduce the timing of storage from 1 year to 45 days just 2 weeks after the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha raises important questions against their partisan conduct during the previous state assembly elections? Secondly, they talk about the fact that we are going to preserve it for 45 days unless asked for it. Now let me tell you an interesting thing. According to Section 81 of the Representation of People's Act 1950, election petitions are filed to the High Court and they can be filed within 45 days of the said election, right? Now, if I go on the 50th day, what I usually do as a lawyer or on behalf of my client, I file a condonation of delay that please allow us for a 5-day delay for whatever reason. I may have gotten an injury, I may not have known about it, whatever the reason is, and the courts often do condone that delay. And once the delay is condoned, the court will say, okay, we direct the election commission to please place the CCTV footage on record. Election commission is going to come and say, oh, no, sir, 45 days already deleted. And even when you look at, even if there is no condonation of, even when there is no delay in filing the application, if I file the application on the 45th day, election commission, if the court, unless the court immediately asks the election commission to put it on hold, the election commission will still delete it because they say we are going to delete it in 45 days unless asked. It is not if an election petition is filed, we are going to hold it longer for 45 days. They say unless asked. That means within 45 days of the election, I will have to figure out the inconsistency. I'll have to file the application. The court will have to hear it. The court will have to pass an order. That order will have to reach the election commission all within 45 days. Even if it is the 46th day, election commission will come and say, oh no, sorry, we have deleted. And I really don't understand in today's era how difficult is it to just preserve some CCTV footage. Okay. Why do you have to delete it?
You've raised a couple of points. You've raised a couple of points, Advocate Nikhil Jain. Let me get a response from BJP Sanju Verma as well. Advocate Nikhil Jain, I've heard you. You've raised three very interesting points, but firstly, before I get Sanju Verma to respond to the points you raised, I just want to tell you about the facts here. By the way, this particular decision was communicated to all chief electoral officers in the states on 30th of May, citing recent misuse of such material. You question the timing, so it hasn't actually come after Rahul Gandhi wrote that opinion piece, which was on 7th of June earlier this month. This decision was communicated, so it was taken much before that. So it's not like After Rahul Gandhi wrote that opinion piece, he raised questions. Now suddenly EC has, announced this particular decision. So that was the fact that I thought I should bring it out for our viewers as well. Sanju Verma, now please respond to the points that Advocate Nikhil Jain has raised.
Heena, first and foremost, let's get one thing very clear. With no offense to none, Advocate Nikhil Jain, Advocate Nikhil Jain, Advocate Nikhil Jain. Nikhil Jain is a bona fide Congress member, which your audience needs to know. Just calling him a political analyst is misleading the audience. He's a Congress spokesperson, unofficial, albeit. Now let me come to the moot point about what Advocate Nikhil Jain has said and what MBA Sanju Verma is going to say and what economist Sanju Verma will respond to. This is the first point that I want to make. The first point is this. The basic premise of Rahul Gandhi's argument in the Maharashtra Assembly elections is that in the last 2 hours, there was a rise in the voting percentage. The votes polled from 58.22% to 66.05%, a 7.83 point raise. That is what he's contending, because he says that this additional 8% rise in votes polled translates into 76 lakh extra voters who polled in the last 2 hours alone.
That we've discussed, Sanju Verma. That we've discussed. Today we are talking about the latest attack that has come from Rahul Gandhi, wherein he's saying it is clear match is fixed and a fixed election is poison for democracy. Now he is again questioning the Election Commission of India after the Election Commission of India has taken this decision that the footage, video, everything is going to be deleted after 45 days.
Heena, can I please finish? You are free to ask me whatever questions you want. But I heard Nikhil Jain, and it is only fair that I should put forth the BJP standpoint. I'm not here to have a gun to my head and say what the other side wants me to say. Your audience needs to hear this, though we have discussed this earlier too. You're absolutely right. And I discussed it on your show. I remember that as well. In Jharkhand, in the last 1 hour, the number of votes polled, the percentage rose from 55.24 to 67.74. BJP lost Jharkhand. The other side won. We did not complain. Telangana 2023, between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m., the number of votes polled percentage went up from 52.14% to 63.94%. BJP lost, Congress won. We did not behave like a sore loser or a workman who blames his tools for his defeat. Himachal 2022, Heena, the voting turnout went up from 61.9% at 5 p.m. to 75.6% by 6 p.m. BJP lost, Himachal, Congress won. We did not cry on national TV. And last but not the least, the big one, Karnataka 2023, at 5 p.m., voting turnout was 57.94%. It went up to 71.84% by 6 p.m. BJP lost, Congress won.
Okay.
BJP did not behave like a Khisiani Billi, but coming to the video footage, read section 23, 43, 46, 47 of the Representation of Peoples Act 1950-51. Read Article 324 of the Constitution, and if you juxtapose these, you will find out that it is the sole prerogative of the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commission and the State Election Commissioner as to how long the video footage should be preserved. Why can't anybody understand the simple thing that jab Rahul Gandhi haarte hain, Khisiani Billi ki tarah, he blames the institutions.
Now that point, Niloufar Masood, leader of the NC, who's also now joined us on this debate. Niloufar Masood, now the same point that Sanju Verma of the BJP raised was raised by, Omar Abdullah as well. The NC Neta, the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. So do you also believe that these kind of comments that are continuously coming from your alliance partner, Congress party, from Rahul Gandhi are perhaps, not right? I mean, it's just politics that's happening without any substance?
I think Mr. Omar Abdullah has already made the point clear that he is not supporting whatever has been said by the Rahul Gandhi. I think it is ridiculous to blame the whole process of election when you lose the election, and when you win, you say that everything was in my favor, so that is the reason I have won. It is better for those people who blame election commissioner or the EVM or the whole process of election not to participate in such elections, because when you are blaming at one time that they are the people who have made us to lose the elections, then morally they should not go into such process wherein they raise the finger on that process. And in parliamentary election, Omar Abdullah, he lost elections, and maybe we had the apprehension that in the assembly elections, maybe because of some fiddling with the elections and all process, maybe we'll lose it. But fortunately, we have won it, and massive mandate has been given to the present government, which clearly shows that it is nothing like fiddling and all that. We cannot blame such things.
Okay.
So I think it is ridiculous to blame again and again the election commissioner. What
Dr.
actually
Muni, how will you like to respond? Because own allies of Rahul Gandhi, own allies of the Congress party feel that this is ridiculous to repeatedly blame the poll panel or the poll process when you lose an election.
Okay, Heena ji, there are 2-3 points that I want to make. Now, Nilofer ji, whatever she was saying, it was very ridiculous, because it says that अगर कोई बच्चा cheating करे तो दूसरा अच्छा बच्चा को participate ही नहीं करना चाहिए examination. Anyway, regarding the CCTV footage thing, most election RTIs are filed after months of results. So deleting the CCTV footage is really harmful. Non-political voices like ADR has said that reducing CCTV footage really undermines election fairness. So it is not only political people who are speaking. One example I want to put in front of all panel. You remember the Anil Masih case? The BJP leader, who's still the BJP leader and general secretary of the Morcha of Bharatiya Janata Party, who was the presiding officer in Chandigarh mayor elections, who in front of CCTV footage really cheated and made the Bharatiya Janata Party mayor win. And what the Honorable Supreme Court, the Honorable CJI, then X, said on this point. He said that that was a murder of democracy done by the BJP leader. He made a mockery of democracy done by a BJP leader. The Honorable Supreme Court said. And all the BJP leaders who are still on the panel supported on TV channels Anil Masih. And Anil Masih really was a fake person who tried to make a mockery of democracy when he elected a Bharatiya Janata Party leader and by faking the ballot papers.
Okay.
So when Rahul Gandhi raises pertinent points, then when election commission's election is rigged by introducing a cabinet member and removing the election Chief Justice of India into the process, he really makes an important point.
I know Sanju wants to respond, but I want to go across to Tushar Gupta first. Tushar, I am a little confused. The viewers are also a little confused. Who do we really trust when it comes to leaders of the Congress party? Because already there is confusion within the INDIA bloc, because Mr. Omar Abdullah says something else, Congress party, Rahul Gandhi says something, very different. Now, within the Congress party also, there are two views. We've heard Rahul Gandhi, we've heard people supporting Rahul Gandhi here, Dr. Akashdeep Puni, you just heard him. Then Mr. Karti Chidambaram, another Congress MP who says have been participating in polls using EVM since 2004. Personally, have no bad experience with EVMs. I mean, what's really happening? Isn't it, in a way, also creating doubts in the minds of the people of this country?
Heenaji, it is.
Look, most Congress MPs today do not back Rahul Gandhi's narrative. They do not back the narrative which are floated by Pawan, Jairam or Supriya, as I call them, PJS. But since you bring up 2004, Rahul Gandhi's contention is that in the 2024 assembly elections of Maharashtra, 40 lakh electors were added, which is a 4.3% increase compared to the Lok Sabha elections of 2024 in Maharashtra, and therefore this election is rigged. This is the article he wrote. This is where the entire discussion began. Now, I'll tell you something very, very interesting, and that should settle the debate, and probably Nikhil Jain will have an answer to this. In 2004 and 2009, the assembly elections, which the Congress alliance won in Maharashtra, 30 lakh voters were added in each of the elections compared to the previous Lok Sabha elections. 30 lakh voters. And the percentage increase were 4.69% in 2004. It was 4.13% in 2009. In 2024, it is 4.38%. So what we witnessed in Maharashtra was nothing unusual, nothing out of the blue. It has been witnessed in 2004, in 2009, and Congress has won that election fair and square. No one is contesting that. But why does Rahul Gandhi cherry pick a certain election? Because they want to create an issue to distract the people of India. They want to prove that somehow the electoral process is faulty in the states where they lose. It's not faulty in Himachal Pradesh or in Telangana or in Karnataka or in West Bengal where the alliance partners win, or even in Tamil Nadu for that matter. But they'll say, oh, it's faulty in Uttar Pradesh or in Bihar or in Madhya Pradesh. Look, the selective convenience. Forget what the election commission or members of the election commission think. The country sees through that charade. People see through that charade, right? I give you another example. In 2024 Lok Sabha elections, there was a constituency, a Lok Sabha constituency, where 5 of the 6 constituencies were won by the BJP, the 5 of the 6 assembly constituencies. The last constituency, Malegaon Central, Congress swept that constituency. For every 1 vote to the BJP, 42 votes went to the Congress. Did you see any BJP voter contesting it? Did you see any BJP leader contesting it? No, because Malegaon Central is a minority-heavy area. They vote naturally towards the Congress, which is their constitutional right. But that is how voting works on the ground. You can't cherry-pick numbers and say, look, fraud hua hai, mere saath dhoka ho raha hai, election commission jhoota hai, sare institutions jhoote hain. This is just Rahul Gandhi trying to, escape responsibility. And even his MPs are not endorsing this.
Even in this claim that fraud hua hai, Ahmed Ayaz, there are discrepancies. I was just looking at the data. Congress party on 29th November 2024 about Maharashtra said that 40 lakh voters were added. Rahul Gandhi on 3rd February in the Lok Sabha said 70 lakh people suddenly were added. Then on 7th of February, Rahul Gandhi said 39 lakh voters were added in 5 months. Then on 7th of June, when he wrote that opinion piece, he said 41 lakh were added in 5 months. So there are discrepancies in the numbers also that, that is being quoted by Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party to question the EC. But I want to ask you, what do you make of it? Because there is a timeline that is available. As Mr. O.P. Rawat explained to us in the beginning, that there is something called as election petition that can be filed within 45 days. Political parties have the right to do that. But that hasn't really happened in the case of Maharashtra. There was an option. Why did it not happen? And why are these issues being raised today?
No, very true. While as Rahul Gandhi or for that purpose anybody in their position, or even for that purpose even a common citizen can rightfully raise questions. That's absolutely that's the beauty of the democracy. But here the point is that whether you really trust the system of the election, holding the election, and to which you participate. You see, either you trust and participate, and then once you have the trust, and there possibly may not be a question. And once you don't trust, and on the other side participate in the elections, it is slightly confusing. It's very difficult to understand what exactly Rahul Gandhi means by it. One-sided, he contests the elections, he participates in the elections, and then while where we find that he does not find it to his side,
right,
and then he will say that no, it's not. So it is slightly confusing. Say for example, Karnataka, the same election body must have held the elections in the Karnataka also. So then we hold a whip. we'll have to hold one particular view. Either we should trust the election commission and participate and whatever results.
That's a
or
fair
else
point
we should
you
not
have made.
trust.
It is an issue of trust, and with these kind of statements coming in, of course, doubts are also being raised among the people of this country as well. Ahmed Ayaz, stay on with us. Let me go across to Mr. O.P. Rawat once again. Mr. O.P. Rawat, a couple of interesting points have been made, and as somebody who understands how the Election Commission of India really functions, I want you to explain to our viewers, like one of the points was that maybe this window of 45 days is not enough. Do you think it's a valid argument? Do you think 45 days are not enough for anybody to raise questions? An example was given of RTIs as well that are filed after months. Then somebody also said that, you know, we can store digitally as well all this data. Storing today is much cheaper. So do you think that, you know, these kind of changes can be brought in?
I don't think, because election petition can be filed only within 45 days. Even if you want condonation of delay, your application has to be there along with that application for condonation of delay. And Election Commission monitors all the courts with their lawyer and get the information how many petitions have been filed till the 46th day. And the record of all those constituencies is preserved till the disposal of that petition. And therefore, there is no point in that. And I don't think that these cheaper technologies and methods will suffice, because these video recordings are done by private vendors. Their cameras are of different vintage, their technology of different vintage, and preserving them to give the same quality of results at a later date becomes very difficult. And therefore, I think Election Commission has done the right thing.
Okay. Advocate Nikhil Jain and then Sanju Verma. I hope you got your answer, Advocate Nikhil Jain.
Absolutely not. With all due respect to Mr. Rawat, I really can't understand that when Election Commission so far have been preserving this data for a year, what is now the urgency to delete it in 45 days? If it was technically challenging and administratively
their argument is very clear. Since no election, one second, Advocate Nikhil Jain, let's tell our viewers also. One second, in your initial arguments also, you said that, you know, this order has come after Rahul Gandhi wrote that opinion piece, which was factually incorrect. So we need to tell our viewers the factual position here. According to the Election Commission, since no election can be challenged beyond 45 days of the declaration of this result, retaining this footage does not really make sense. That's the view of the Election Commission. So if there is a problem, shouldn't then the political parties be approaching the High Court and the Supreme Court that we need this rule to be changed?
Towards transparency and accountability, or do we take steps away from them? If the Election Commission has been saving this data for a year until 2025 May...
Okay, last 10 seconds, Sanju Verma, quick rebuttal.
You know, Heena, there are so many allegations made by Akashdeep Muni, yet Anil Masih had to apologize under Article 340 of the Constitution, and the difference is that we did not say, let Manoj Sonkar continue as the Chandigarh mayor. After the Supreme Court intervened, AAP councillor Kuldeep Kaur was made the Chandigarh mayor. So we stuck to the Supreme Court's verdict. And in 10 seconds, I'll tell you what Justice former CJI Chandrachud told the Congress party and all these EVM naysayers. The Supreme Court has repeatedly upheld the validity of EVMs, which are safe, secure, constitutional, and fair. The Supreme Court is the last voice in the constitutional space on adjudication, and it has clearly affirmed the validity of EVMs, and I think all parties must accept it. Why can't Rahul Gandhi accept the Supreme Court's verdict? आपका मन करता है तो आप अनिल मसीह का केस लेकर आते हो. जब आपका मन करता है, you start bashing Chandrachud. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. And my final point is this, in 10 seconds. In 2004, BJP lost Maharashtra between Lok Sabha and Assembly elections.
All right.
The voter count went up from 6.3 crore to 6.6 crore.
Right.
We did not cry. 30 lakh voter increase.
And that's the bottom line. Why cry when you lose? Because no questions are raised when a political party wins the elections. Thank you very much. I'm completely out of time. Thank you very much, all of you. Sanju Verma, Tushar Gupta, O.P. Rawat, Advocate Nikhil Jain, Ahmed Ayaz, and Dr. Akashdeep Muni, and Ms. Nilofar. Appreciate you joining us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective on this debate. Heading into a short break. Stay with us.